Well, League of Legends Season 5 has finally ended, with players left in two different groups, those that achieved their rank goals and those who failed, and as you can see from my profile, I'm in the former category. Thanks to hard work and dedication, I, Aimyr, finally managed to achieve my dream rank of Bronze 2. With this prodigious goal achieved, I finally feel truly qualified to share my expertise with you and help you achieve your own goals. These are my tips and tricks to League of Legends rank. To beat the game of League of Legends, you must understand the game of League of Legends. The first battle is in Champ Select. You need to know what champions you can and cannot play. For example, if you pick Zed, you must understand that Zed is a deadly assassin that does colossal damage, especially with his ultimate, which pops people like bubbles in an arrow. If you pick Lucian, you must understand that he is a ranged marksman, whose ultimate is perfect for drive-bys and getting backbanned. If you don't do this, if you pick a champion that you can't play effectively, you end up from this. What the fuck? To this. I see this so many times. People dying but claiming worth in chat. If you are one of these people, you need to learn what worth is. Let me give you an example. The chairman of Tencent, the company that owns Riot Games, is worth around $18 billion. Before he declared bankruptcy, 50 Cent was worth around $150 million. My opinion is worth $420, but that's just my 2 cents. On the other end of cents and their value, this graph shows the value of several different cents and their equivalent in several different currencies. Relatively, some have a lot of value, such as the British pence, while others, not so much. The defunct Zimbabwean cent, for example, is essentially worthless, with absolutely no value or usefulness. Now that you are properly educated on worth, here's an exercise. After each clip, you will be quizzed on whether or not the play was worth or not worth.
That's not right.
League of Legends solo queue is considered by many to be the most toxic environment since Chernobyl exploded back in 1986, and they're not wrong. Many players lack empathy, the ability to look at things from others' perspectives. So to help alleviate that, I'm going to show you the perspective of a random League of Legends champion, and you're gonna guess who it is. That's right, it's Lee Sin, who is blind. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to set yourself ablaze like Lee Sin did, although it would save me a lot of trouble. I'm asking you to realize that some people have impaired vision. So to illustrate this, this is what the average human sees. And here is what the average League of Legends player sees when they play. Can you see the difference? The average League of Legends player is tunnel visioned, which means that their field of view is incredibly limited. If you want to empathize further with these wretched, poor beings, try experiencing tunnel vision for yourself. To do this, you will need to travel deep inside of a large tunnel, then look out at the opening. Some places you can do this are train tunnels, caves, your mom's vagina. This game is so unrealistic. I can't burn the corpse! This game is so unrealistic. I can't dissolve the corpse! This game is so unrealistic. I can't feast on the corpse!
Call the cops.
The meta of League of Legends is a constantly changing entity, and any attempt to provide a definite build dates a guide. With that in mind, it is a skill to learn how to theorycraft, which involves extensive and complete analysis of the items in the game, every single patch. Let me give you some examples of my own incredible builds. For Marksman, go Essence Reaver, Swiftness Boots, Static Shiv, Infinity Edge, Lord Dominic's Regards, and Mercurial Scimitar. For this on-hit magic build, go Magi's, Nashor's, Sorcerer's Shoes, Wit's End, Ginsu's, and Frozen Mallet. The Fisting build, Berserker's Grease, Brawler's Gloves, Yarim's Fist, Seeker's Arm Guard, Iceborne Gauntlet, and Steric's Gauge. The FIFA build, 6 Corrupting Potions. The Spooky build, Death's Dance, Aether Wisp, Spectre's Cowl, Haunting Guise, Spirit Visage, Yomu's Ghostblade. Now, these following item sets aren't full builds, but you want to buy them as a combo because of the way they synergize with each other. Mercury Treads and Mercurial Scimitar, Giant's Belt and Giant Slayer, Dark Seal and Black Cleaver. If you cannot understand these genius builds, it is because I am a master theory crafter and you are a mere meta slave. And slavery is something I just cannot abide. Unless it's in Qatar, of course. I mean, just look at that amazing football stadium. The only thing you could do to make that any more beautiful is if you watered the grass with a few more gallons of blood.
Disgusting.
I'm going to list 2 facts. 1. League of Legends is generally played with a keyboard and mouse. 2. Typing in chat requires the use of your keyboard. Can you see the relation here? That's right, you can't effectively play the game and type at the same time. So don't try to start arguments with your teammates, just mute and play on. This is such an easy and simple concept to grasp, it's a wonder why so many League players actually understand this. But I know some of you cheeky types out there are thinking of trying to use this to your own advantage. You want to aggravate and insult the opposing players, to start flame wars with the enemy team, thinking it will work out in your favor. Well, let me give you some historical examples of people who've started wars. King Decebalus was the king of Dacia, who in 105 broke a previous peace treaty with Rome, persuading other tribes to revolt. This led to the Second Dacian War, with the Romans laying siege to the Dacian capital of Sarmizegetusa, eventually burning it to the ground. Facing defeat, King Decebalus killed himself, slitting his throat. His severed head, along with his left toe and knee, were then presented to the Roman Emperor Trajan as a trophy. Dacia was annexed by the Romans in 106. Inalchuk was the Khwarezmid governor of the city of Otrar, who in 1218 executed a Mongolian trade caravan of around 450 men, which led to the invasion of Khwarezmia by Genghis Khan himself. What followed was the brutal sacking, massacring, and total annihilation of the Khwarezmid Empire, with millions executed and enslaved. Barricaded in the inner citadel of Otrar, Inalchuq and his few remaining bodyguards held out for 6 months before being captured. In 1219, the Mongols executed him by pouring molten silver onto his left toe and knee. Gavrilo Princip was a Serbian nationalist who in 1914 assassinated the Austro-Hungarian Archduke Franz Ferdinand. This led to the outbreak of World War I, causing the deaths of 17 billion people from all around the world, and 1 million of Princip's own countrymen. Imprisoned soon after, Gavrilo Princip spent the war suffering from malnutrition and skeletal tuberculosis, which forced his left toe and knee to be amputated. He died in captivity in 1918. There are 2 takeaways I want you to have from this guide. The first is that League of Legends is an extremely popular and international game, with diverse players coming from all around the world: America, Asia, Europe, and elsewhere. The second and more important takeaway is this. There are numerous philosophies concerning reward and punishment, one of the most central ideas to individual and societal existence. There are people in the world who believe that rewards should be handled meritocratically, and subsequently that punishments should be eye for an eye. These people believe that if you play at a platinum level, then you deserve a platinum rank. Likewise, if you cut off someone's right hand, then you should have your own right hand cut off in the same way. That seems fair and just, doesn't it? But the world isn't fair and just. If you play at a platinum level, you might get stuck in gold. Likewise, if you commit a despicable act against others, you might not be punished by having that same act done to you. I mean, I've currently gathered plenty of people who will be willing to incinerate you, but I still haven't found anyone sick enough to then screw the ashes, Vincent! Attack, damage, jungle, Malzahar. 4 words that you don't usually hear together, like mana regen support Katarina, or pure ability power Darius, or Akali deserves being fed.